Hi everybody, this is Dan Harley here, and welcome to Tech Talk Live. I usually do this live Tech Talk show on Facebook Live every week. Been doing the past 3 or 4 weeks or so, and we talk about technology stuff. Anybody has some technical questions or how to fix stuff, I try to answer them and on live and go from there. So, however, this particular one is not live because I have to manage several sources at one time for this particular show, and because it's kind of important. So I usually do it live, but not today. All right. And why I'm doing this is because of the content of the show. I'm basically going to prove that Russian hackers did not alter the DNC emails. And the DNC chairperson, John Brazil, is lying. And the Clinton company dug their own hole in this, and they fabricated all this Russian hacker and stuff to distract from the actual email content. And the reason I'm doing all this is I caught a little flack from last week's show where some Hillary supporters questioned my opinion on the Russian hacker Clinton, on my opinion on Clinton's servers being hacked by Russian hackers, which they weren't. And I decided to basically shove it back in their faces with this episode. I try to not. I didn't want to get this thing political, but really in this atmosphere, really got no choice here. So anyway, I'm going to prove it that the emails were not altered. So anyway, let's get to I'm going to show you a video here of Donna Brazil and her quote her directly. Okay, so bear with me a little bit.
To say about
questions as a contributor to CNN.
Well, first of all, let me answer the question because as much as I.
By the way, this is recorded October 19th, if I'm correct, right after the debate and all this stuff. So she was getting questioned about the email. So here we go.
Respected journalist all my political life, and I will respond to questions. As I've stated repeatedly, that the Democratic Party was a victim of a cybercrime. And I don't meddle in what I call the illegal dumping of private emails in the public sphere that have been altered, that have been, in many cases, readapted.
Altered and readapted. Remember what she said. This is her own words.
And so, as I've stated repeatedly, and I'll state it again for the record, I have never been privileged as long as I've been not just a part of CNN, which let me just say how proud I am to have been a contributor for CNN and other news outlets. And no one has ever shared questions with any of us involved in CNN as.
Do you have proof that it was Russia? Do you have proof that it was Russia?
Sir, as
do you have
we
proof?
Stated, and the United States government has also stated, and if you would like a copy of the Department of Homeland Security and the information that they released 2 weeks ago, you're welcome to have it, but I'm sure you have it. But
they also told us we had WMDs. Well, why should we trust this?
Yeah, in fact, they did, in fact, provided some type of documentation on that, but really, what I show you is going to be irrelevant.
Because we have ample evidence. We've been the victim of a cybercrime. We have ample evidence. We have ample evidence through our servers and through all of the technology that we have seen corrupted by the fingerprints used by Russian hackers. So,
in my previous show to this one here, in my professional opinion, they got no idea who hacked them. They don't have the competency level in their IT staff to figure this out.
So as you can see.
Anyway, that's it for now. Now let's go to, hang on here. Let's go to proving or disproving what's going on here. I'm going to show you source code from an email, a typical email, okay? What you're seeing here on the screen here is, let me see if we do right there, okay? This is actually source code from a very simple email sent back to myself, okay? This is stuff that people normally don't see. The actual email is very simple. It says, hi, and from my Gmail account. That's what's actually usually visible. The rest of the stuff is metadata, as they call it, so on and so forth. All this just to send a very simple little email. And there's a good reason for this, okay? You see the paths, the metadata here, return from, received from, basically the where everything's coming from. Even this stuff here shows a footprint of where this email came from, was basically from my Gmail account, and received to my regular Client Constance account, and it goes on and on and on here. Okay, there's these two things here are really important. Those DKIM signatures and Google DKIM signature. Okay, what these are is they call the DKIM signature. These are signatures that are unique to every single email that's been sent out. Now, granted, you have to have a server set up with DKIM, but most servers since 2003 or 5 have DKIM available. And also Google goes a step further here. Okay, and I'll bring up the Google thing here a little bit, which is really important here. Okay, what DKIM was put together for was to basically track, verify spam, anti-spam stuff. Okay, this signature authenticates the sender as well as authenticating the content, and it's unique. Each one of these signatures are unique to each email. So, and with a simple plugin to most email clients, you can verify that this email in fact came from such and such, and the content is in fact what such and such wrote. Okay, now this Google went a step further here. Those you have heard how good Google is with spamming is because they add an extra layer of DKIM. There's their own special signature here. Okay, and the reason why this is in here is because I sent this from my Gmail account. So these two here authenticates that this in fact did come from me, and this content is in fact authenticated. So if you modify this at all, this would raise a red flag on the email saying it's been altered, it's spammy, so on and so forth. Either one of these. In fact, if you ever had a Google account, that's why you don't get so much spam, because you get this double layer of LS, okay, for lack of better terms. So now, how is this relevant to the DNC hacked emails? Well, all these DKIM signatures. Oh, by the way, I should add it here too. You can copy these emails as many times as you want. Even put on paper like this, like you see here, and you can still authenticate the content, authenticate the recipient. So now, once you modify it, then it breaks out the authentication. All right. Now, how is this relevant to the DNC? And Miss What's Her Face, Miss Brazil, and Hillary Clinton, and everything is all the WikiLeaks emails have been authenticated in this manner. So this, which means that all of those emails have been verified with recipients by the senders, and the content has been verified. So, Miss Brazil's email from CNN with the questions, the debate questions that she got ahead of time, those were actually sent, and they were authenticating from the source. Okay, all the Donna Brazil's emails going back and forth, all of Wasserman Salt's emails going back and forth, even when they get a hold of Hillary Clinton's emails going back and forth, they can authenticate all that. So, even long story short, even if the Russians hacked her, even if Cubans hacked her, even Brazilians hacked her, even Venezuelans hacked her, whoever hacked her, it's irrelevant. This content can be copied and copied and copied. It can still be authenticated back to its original owners, its original sender. So that means all this stuff that the DNC has been emailing here and there and everywhere, that's what they've been saying. So what does this mean is Brazil's lying through her teeth, as you said in seen that video here. Okay, it was not Russian hackers altering anything. It is actual content, and she's bringing up, her and Hillary Clinton bring up the Russian thing here to distract from the content of the email, as many of the and many other folks had brought up too. So now I should ad-lib here too. Those of you think I'm not doing this because I'm a Trump supporter. In fact, I'm really concerned about either one of these two becoming president. I'm certainly not a Hillary Clinton supporter. Okay, so and this, a lot of it is because what you see here, it is just outright lies and bullshit. And I'm coming from the technical level. I'm not even getting into the content or policies and stuff like that. Just what you see here at the technical level here. So anyway, that is the lesson on DKIM signatures and how these things are being used, and how all these emails, thousands and tens of thousands of emails, have been authenticated or will be authenticated. What does this mean? Also, let's go a few steps further here too. You can, as of today, and today's October 31st, Halloween, lots of, let's say, rats are jumping on ship right now. CNN just fired down to Brazil. CBS, ABC, NBC, and other mainstream medias are now covering the wiener leaks, as I call it, where they would never touch anything that would be anti-Hillary up until now. So it's looking pretty bad for the DNC, looking pretty bad for Hillary Clinton, and for good reason, in my opinion, at least. So anyway, I'm going to leave that as for food for thought today, and closing this particular show. And thank you for watching. If you like what you see, by all means, subscribe to my channel here. You see more of this stuff. Go to Brian Constant 2100 on Facebook, or follow this, whatever you can find here. And we'll hopefully this time next week we'll have a little bit. It would be election day, and I'm hoping that personally all this stuff will pass soon and we can go back to normal lives. So anyway, those of you out there, God bless you. Good luck and Godspeed to your success, and we'll talk to you later.